that's how people rise. You rise from the ashes of controversy. So
That's true. Yeah, or like Scrambled 2.
yeah, scrambled twosome.
And then by the time you get to like Scrambled Threesome, that's when people will start following.
Yeah. Two guys, one tech.
That's when we'll get the followers. Everyone will be like, why is it all add up to 3?
Yeah,
and
well.
only the people in the know will know.
Only the people who listen to us from the very beginning.
Only the OG fans.
The die-hard loyal scramblers.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Scrambled Checksum. We've made it to 1 year. Did you know that 99.9% of podcasts fail after the first episode when people can't be bothered? Yet here we are, 26 glorious episodes and 1 year later. I'm joined with my co-host Ethan. How does it feel to have made it to our first birthday?
I am overjoyed.
I feel like I should have brought a party popper or like some kind of like one of those blow-in things, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does feel like a slight anticlimax. I mean, I was totally prepared for this event and totally knew this was happening. So, you know,
it's the best kind of birthday party, a surprise birthday party.
Yeah, I'm quite amazed. You know what? Despite the fact that it has been a resounding failure, I am quite proud of this podcast. I think it's quite impressive that we've managed to keep this up for.
We've recorded over a day of content. I
know, that's scary, isn't it? Like, just think how much it would be without all the stuff we've cut out.
And that doesn't even include our secret first episode, which is it included as an Easter egg on the channel, or is it just a clip from it that's included?
No, I think
that's the 1 million subscriber reward.
Yes. I think I can't remember what we said we were going to do with it. I think we said if we got
bury it in a time capsule.
Yeah. I've still got it. Like, it will remain for all time.
Excellent.
You know? Episode 1 as well.
The true episode 1, the lost episode, the scrambled edit.
Yeah, it wasn't even called the Scrambled Checksum at that point. We didn't even have a name.
No, it was called the Untitled. We didn't even have the art.
No, we had nothing.
We didn't even... No, we had art, I think, before we started, but the art was accidentally deleted in the great file loss.
Oh, no, that was after we recorded
That was after we recorded... Wow.
We recorded the first episode in November.
Yeah, so that was... So pre even the Scrambled Checksum. But it feels good to have made it to a year, dear listeners. And thank you for all of your loyal support over the past 12 months.
Yeah.
We can't wait for the next decade of content.
Oh, God, yeah, it's going to be great. But
we can't wait for the next 200 episodes.
Yeah, I can't wait to be suspended from a helicopter flying away into the sunset.
Yeah, in 10 years' time, when we can finally release...
I think 9 years' time at this point.
9 years' time, you're right. We can finally release our We Made a Podcast every 2 weeks for the last decade.
Apart from we took a break over Christmas. And
yeah, well, Tom Scott took breaks.
That's true.
He had guest content while we was off, but that's right. And then we can say, you know, we did, and here's the ways in which it ruined our lives.
My life has been infinitely improved by this podcast.
I was going to say, like, God, my life really hit a high just before we started recording.
Yeah, it has been downhill ever since. It's slow spiral into despair, really.
That really was. Now that you mentioned it, that 1 year anniversary actually would be the turning point.
Yeah. I never thought about it until just right this minute, and suddenly it's all becoming so clear.
I'm piecing it all together, actually. Yeah, every 2 weeks it got slightly worse.
Yeah, I'd never really noticed that. Oh, it's been nice knowing you, Kieran.
Well, speaking of things getting slightly worse.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen I guess I would say recent, but probably not by the time this episode comes out. But the talk around people saying that, you know, ChatGPT isn't as good as it used to be since they've made some of their updates. And another thing that's slowly gotten worse is Google search results. And a lot of people have said the Google search results are just full of crap now. It's either ads or it's like spammy content or it's just garbage. So I guess my first question was, do you think that Google search is getting worse / has gotten worse?
Well, I'm probably not a prime candidate to ask this question. My observations of it. So I've been a DuckDuckGo user for a couple of years now.
Of course
as
you
my
are.
Primary search engine.
With a little bit of Ecosia, right?
Ecosia was before DuckDuckGo. I switched away from Ecosia because it was shit. And but I still didn't want to use Google, so I really wanted Ecosia to be good, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't actually useful. Like, pretty much every time I did a search in it, I ended up then putting #G on the end of it to Google it, because it just wouldn't. Like, I'd end up having to do the search twice. So
I think if you want to know how tall Barack Obama is, it can probably answer that really well. But if you're like, I've got a really obscure error message that probably there's about 10 relevant results for in the whole internet, you're probably not going to find him on Ecosia.
So what I will observe, what I have observed, I don't know whether this is like one of those kind of self-fulfilling prophecy sort of things, like because I've seen a lot of like YouTube video titles and stuff that are like, why is Google shit now, and blah 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 blah. But I have noticed, like, I used to be that I'd search for something on DuckDuckGo, and then like maybe 1 in 10 times, if I was looking for something obscure, I wouldn't find what I was looking for. So I'd just Google it to see if I got better results. And these days, I don't usually.
Yeah. So like, it feels. I think a lot of people's comments are that it feels like you either get, like, obviously you get the ads at the top, but then you get like either websites that are just really spammy or just full of like absolute shit before you get to any kind of content, and the content itself is crap.
Yeah.
Or it's like you'll just get a bunch of forum results, mainly Reddit, and mainly like Quora.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And it's like, that's fine if they answer your question, but it's like, it's not. A lot of people's comments are that they feel like it isn't the good Google search that they remember from anywhere from like 2007 to like, I don't know, 2012 or something. There's like a band I've seen of when people say like it used to be good. Kind of like around when they dropped Don't Be Evil, if I remember correctly. But I guess, like, speaking of that, so a lot of people's comments are that it's gotten worse, and the AI thing's obviously getting more and more pervasive. And I guess here's my main topic on this was there's a AI search engine, quote unquote, called Perplexity.
Right, I've not heard of that.
No, I hadn't until quite recently. It's kind of like a ChatGPT style thing, but it bills itself more as like a search engine type tool.
Okay.
And the reason I wanted to talk to you about it was that so I don't know if you've heard, but Sam Altman doesn't like ads.
Yeah, yeah.
He said like advertising's stupid. He doesn't like ads, which I respect that. I don't like ads either.
Who does?
Exactly, who does? Obviously, Google search is powered by ads. Like, that's what pays for it all. So now Perplexity's come along that purports to be a competitor. It's AI powered. I don't know what model they're using. It might even be their own. But their founder / CEO / whoever has come out and been like, yeah, I think ads are fine. I want to run ads on our platform. So we've potentially got like a kind of Google search competitor that does like ads. So I guess I wanted to get your take on like how you feel about a search engine that's AI powered but also with ads.
I'm not against there being ads on the internet.
Yeah.
I think they've become way too in your face though. And
it's like you used to get like the clearly marked ad links, and then you could just have content then after that. But now it's like ads that kind of aren't particularly well called out, mixed in with like search results, then more ads, then like a bigger call out with more ads.
Yeah, I think an ad supported internet is better than a paywalled internet.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think ads have got way too, like, the privacy invasiveness of targeted advertising, and the fact that there's quite a lot of websites that are just unusable without an ad blocker.
Oh my god! Like most of the websites that people get, I think, in the high results in Google, which is why a lot of people were complaining about it, was that like you'll click on the top link and it's just like
I wouldn't
a website.
know I use an ad blocker.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
So I don't see
but
how
you see
bad
the
it
gaps, right? You see the like big white area on the right of the screen where you'd imagine it would be full of auto-playing video ads.
I'll tell you where I do notice it. I notice it when on the rare occasion that I browse the internet on my iPad, because you can't install. iOS doesn't support browser extensions,
No, of course. So
I can't have an ad blocker on there.
Oh, rip! Because that's an older iPad too, so I bet any like video ads slow it right the hell down.
Oh no! It's
not too bad.
No, it's fine.
Oh.
It's a fairly new iPad. It's.
I thought you had a really old one. I'm thinking of your MacBook.
It's my MacBook. Yeah, I've got an iPad 8th gen, which is from 2021, I think, or something like that.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's not that old. But yeah, so I kind of I'm blind to the ads. Did you say it was ChatGPT powered?
No, I'm not sure what model powers it. I'm assuming it's not
Perplexia.
GPT-4 powered. Perplexity. I think what I find interesting about it is that Google are clearly scared of the threat of OpenAI.
Sorry to cut that. I just had a question that just popped into my head. How does this? So it's like a chatbot, right?
Yes.
So how does it go about displaying these ads? Does it like weave them into the conversation, or is it just like banner ads and stuff?
So they've not added them yet.
Oh.
They've basically said. So Sam Altman, obviously, he said, "I don't like ads." It seems unlikely they're going to be added to.
Wait, Sam Altman said, "I don't like poor people." That's what he said, right?
Yeah, he said sack them off. No free tier.
Yeah, I don't like poor people.
No, to be fair, there is a free tier of ChatGPT, but like
Sam Altman, you heard it here first, folks. Sam Altman said he hates the poor.
Well, I mean, that free tier could very easily go away, couldn't it?
Well, yeah.
That free tier, I've seen companies that have offered a free forever tier.
It's kind of like
then, God.
It's kind of like how in the UK, our government or our I think it's our current Home Secretary is trying to propose basically fines for people who are sleeping rough on the street. Have you heard about that?
Quality move.
Yeah, it's like, I know there's these people who have so little money that they can't afford. Sorry, they chose to live on the street as a lifestyle choice. So we're gonna fine them because that'll help. The problem is they're not paying rent. We're gonna take what little money they probably don't have anyway away from them. That'll stop them being homeless.
And if they don't pay it, we'll put them in prison.
Yeah, nice. Well, at least I have a roof over the head, I guess. Free food.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke. So it's that kind of principle, right? Where these like free forever tiers.
Yeah, I mean, just don't be poor, guys.
Yeah, it's like look, you sign up on the free forever.
It's like the worst life choice you can make.
If you sign up on the free forever tier, I know we said it was free forever, but if things change, then it can't be free forever, even though we said it was. So yeah, anyway,
like Tesla supercharging.
Yeah, exactly, free for life.
Yeah.
And you know what they're like? They'll pressure you into upgrading. They'll like take away features, and it'll still technically be free. You don't get to do anything.
Oh, like a TeamViewer perpetual license.
Yep, TeamViewer perpetual. It's like it's that whole thing. It's like TeamViewer perpetual license. There's other companies that have done like free tiers, and then be like, "Oh, sorry, we have to get rid of the free tier, even though we said we wouldn't." I think I saw one where they had a free forever tier, and then they got rid of it, and they were like, "Oh, well, the tier was free forever. It's just now the tier no longer exists."
Oh, I've got another one. Google Workspace.
Oh yeah, that's not possible to get. You can't do stuff with it now, right?
Didn't they even like? I think didn't they eventually force the few people who still had the free version to get the paid version?
Oh, it was weird because I was in a Google Workspace admin the other day, and I saw a message that was like, if you didn't migrate your free Google Workspace account by like 2016 or something, then
I thought it was more recently than that.
it might be. It might have been a different date. I couldn't remember. But it's something about the free tier. It was something around the lines of like, if you didn't, they always call it an upgrade, right? If you didn't upgrade it,
if you didn't upgrade to giving us all your money,
if you didn't upgrade to pay, if you didn't upgrade the amount that you pay us for it, then it's now gone or something. Yeah. Anyway, various examples of things that used to be free forever. So that could go away with OpenAI, but at the minute it is free. There is a free tier anyway. Also, there's paid tiers as well. But yeah, so Sam Altman doesn't like ads. So you would imagine at this stage it's unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely. This is Microsoft behind him after all, allegedly. But like, Google need ads. So they're scared of OpenAI taking their lunch on the search engine side of things. And it's like, I feel like ads in an AI result are hard to do. Because like, that was your first question, right? How are they going to look?
Yeah.
So how the hell do you give someone like a natural language response, but then weave ads into it that people would actually click on?
I'm trying to remember how Bing does it.
Oh god.
Because Bing Chat has ads, doesn't it?
Isn't it just like you can ask it for the top 5 products and it'll give you like? But then the thing is, people will get wise to that and then they just won't trust the list because they'll just. I guess people trust listicles, don't they? And they're.
Sorry, it's not called Bing Chat anymore, is it? It's called Copilot.
Yeah, it was called. It's been through so many names.
Hang on.
But yeah, Copilot now.
Hi, Bing. Hello, how can I assist you today? How... Oh, hang on, I've just realised I've got my ad blocker turned on.
You're like, God, there's no ads in this at all. I imagine if you asked it for like the top 5, I don't know, trainers.
How can I assist you today? By continuing your interaction with Copilot, you are accepting the terms of use and confirm you have reviewed the privacy statement. Yeah,
Well,
I totally did those things.
Make sure you've reviewed it.
Hang on, I'm gonna go. Oh, I have to click continue. Okay.
Serve me an
I
ad.
want to be rich. That was what it auto.
What's not going to give you an ad with that?
The allure of wealth. Many have dreamed of it, and some have even achieved it. Let's explore a few paths to financial prosperity. So far, it has not given me any.
What the hell ad would you get on that?
Any ads? I was.
What were you expecting?
I don't know.
What, an ad for like Donald Trump's book?
What can I buy to help me be rich?
If that gives an ad, I'll be amazed.
Education, invest in knowledge, stocks and equities, real estate,
if that's
business
can you imagine if that
ventures,
was sponsored by
cryptocurrencies, precious metals, art, collectible. Jesus, it's coming with quite the
Masterworks.
Peer-to-peer lending, health and wellness, networking and relationships. Oh, you're screwed. You're screwed.
That's a lot of investing. Try asking it like what the top 5 trainers are. That's probably more likely to give you an ad.
The top 5 trainers.
Yeah, for under
for rich people.
No, for under go for like for under £50 because then that's
people.
like you want to buy. It's like you're giving it a lot of intent that you want to purchase something. And we'll see what we get. This is live testing.
It's thought trainers as in.
Oh my god! Really?
Okay, let's start a new. Let's reset.
These tools suck.
New topic, right?
Athletic footwear.
What are the top 5 trainers in the UK? I think it's because it was
trainers for like getting rich.
It was because it was context related to what I was already.
Got you. It was this guy wants a guru.
It's still not giving me ads. It's just.
Are you sure it has ads?
I swear I remember seeing something that said sponsored.
Maybe it was a limited test or something. But you see what I mean? Like, it's not naturally well suited to banging an ad in the middle of there like it is when you have like a search results, when it's like 10 links on a page.
Do you want to know what they are according to Copilot?
I don't know a ton about trainers, but go on.
So, When it comes to trainers, there are various options available in the UK.
Oh, what a load of milquetoast bollocks. Can you just say this is the best
Here
one?
are some popular choices. 1. Kappa Women's La Mora High Top Trainers. 2.
Okay.
Hush Relay Retro Trainers. 3. M&S Collection Leather Lace-Up Side Detail Trainers.
Oh,
4.
leather trainers.
Air
I
and
guess that makes
Grace
sense.
London Sadie White Platform Trainers. 5. Sketcher Woman's Bob Slip-In Keep It Sweet Shoes.
Oh, +1 for the Skechers.
Yeah, I'm just going for a
see
walk in my Sketchers. Ah, hang on. It says ad. It says ad here, and then it's got a load of basically what you'd get at the top of like Google Shopping.
Oh, like links to buy the same shoe.
Products. No, they're all different shoes. They're just random trainers. There's just ads
Oh.
for random trainers underneath.
So it's like, here are the best ones, but then
It doesn't give you
here's
links
all
to
our
any
ads
of those.
we don't give you links to them, but here's our ads for ones that are completely different,
Yeah.
that are immeasurably worse. Like, we don't think these are any good, but, you know,
Yeah.
here are the ads for them. See, so, I mean, that's not well suited for ads, is it?
No, I mean,
Really?
it's just kind of like... have you noticed that Google Shopping doesn't exist anymore, by the way?
It does still exist.
It doesn't.
As a platform, it still exists.
No, it's gone forever.
I can promise you it still exists.
It's gone, Kieran.
It still exists.
It's not there anymore.
As a platform, it exists.
No, it doesn't. It's gone forever. Forget about it.
What do you mean it's gone forever?
It doesn't exist anymore.
It exists.
It's been replaced with Google Products,
Oh,
which is
had
exactly the
me-
same
you
thing
had-
under a different name.
I was going to say, you had me going there.
It's like, yeah, if you do a search
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
say,
it's just a different name.
Camera.
Apparently there was, I think there was an issue with that where it would, you know the tags it would put on stuff like that said they were on sale?
yeah.
I think there was an issue where it tagged everything as a product when they first launched it. I could be wrong, I never saw it in the wild. But I heard.
Yeah. If you search for Google Shopping, you can still get it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were like, oh, it's gone. Like, as in replaced.
Well, it kind of has. If you go to
in
Google...
the sense that they've
Yeah, so if
changed
you
the
go
name.
to the Google Shopping tab, what you're looking for, camera. Yeah, they just... Oh, then it takes you to... Yeah, okay, so yeah, products isn't the same thing. It's a different interface.
It still gives you products, though.
Yeah. That seems like an arbitrary change to me.
It's classic Google, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's like the new login screen.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a new login screen?
oh, dude, you've not seen the redesigned login screen.
No.
Dude, you're missing out.
Okay, hang on. I need to... Let me
Oh
open
my
it
god,
in
it is
private window.
hype. Honestly, things are popping off. Like, this is the biggest change that's probably
Holy
ever
shit,
been...
they have changed it.
Right? Isn't that the biggest change you've ever seen to any platform ever?
Oh, totally, yeah.
They've centered it.
That's quite something.
Isn't that beautiful?
And it's now got the new Google logo on it.
Yep.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It heightens my user experience.
Exactly. Isn't that worth the... They teased that as well, you know. That's the funniest part.
Wow.
For
It's
weeks.
literally the screen that I want to see never. 'Cause the only time I see this screen is when I've cleared my browser cache and then I've got to sign into everything again. Or
Yeah.
I've just done a fresh install. I've got to
Yeah,
sign
they
into everything
teased that
again.
screen for weeks. They were like, oh, get ready
This
for...
screen incites anxiety in me because every single time I see it, I'm like, oh fuck, can I remember my password?
Yeah. But they teased that change for a long time. They were like, oh, this new login screen's coming. Are you ready? I think they called it the new login experience.
It looks... Hang on.
It's very similar to the old login experience. In fact, the experience is identical to the old login experience.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what I think, like, let's have a look at the Microsoft login page.
Theirs doesn't change.
No, theirs
But,
hasn't changed. It's got mildly less interesting.
But they also wouldn't be like, new login experience, guys, coming soon.
Yeah, Microsoft know that they're not cool. So.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, I mean, come on, what kind of change is that? But anyway, back to the topic at hand. Do you think?
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Do you think that ads can ever work in an AI search engine? And if not, does that mean like Google are kind of screwed? Because they've been testing an AI search results thing in the US, called like Search Generative Experience, I think it's called.
Okay.
But it's like they're not going to roll that out if it kills their ad revenue, because that's like a huge chunk of their total like income as a company.
Well, I think they are, aren't they?
They've been trying to diversify.
They're trying
for ages.
to. I've heard they are trying to kind of. They want to go for the subscription market.
Yeah, but like they've been trying that for years. But like it's like, remember when they had they made like the huge push for Pixel, and it like they put all that money into advertising it, and it's still, I don't think, a very significant amount of their income.
I have started seeing Google Pixels more.
Oh, definitely, but like considering how much they spent advertising, you'd hope so.
I think the Google Pixel is borderline mainstream, I think, at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's not like a popular phone, but if you think like how much money they make off of advertising compared to that,
like hardware is such a small part of their business, though. It's like they'd have to probably be bigger than Samsung in mobile sales to
they'd have to be
to even
size.
be approaching the level of money they're making from everything else.
And that's the thing, like how are they gonna navigate that? Because like it's been such a big earner for them for such a long time, and I feel like they've never really been challenged on it in a serious way. So like what, and they can't just do the thing of acquiring them like Facebook have been doing.
Yeah.
Because the companies that back their competitors in it are too big. So like, what are they going to? How would you navigate that? Like, are they going to try and add ads and it's not going to work very well? Because then they'll bleed users.
I think the only way that they can do it is the way that, like we've just seen with Microsoft Copilot. Because I think the problem is, like with these AI models, you can't just, like, advertisers want too much control for them to just basically somehow train the model to put ads in. Like, how would you even do that? Because it'd have to generate that. If you train it to put ads in, it would just put the same ads in, and then you'd have to retrain the model every time you needed new ads.
Or it's like you've got all your advertisers that are bidding on like certain keywords, like you have on
like,
Google.
You have like, the only way I can think is like you'd have, unless you just say, I don't know, unless you can train it to have to like look up a table of ads basically, and so just insert a relevant one from here or something. I don't know. There must be a way of doing it. But
the thing is as well though, it's like the ad, like the active advertisers and like what they're willing to spend and everything is constantly changing. But the whole thing with these models is that they take months to train.
Yeah.
So like you say, it's going to be hard to like weave them into the response, because like you've got like this model that was trained months and months ago, but then the advertising landscape's completely changed in that time.
I think the only way to do it is to shoehorn them in at the moment.
Yeah, just like stick them in. But then if like no one's clicking them, because why would you? Because they're not as relevant to the text that you're getting, then that's going to hurt them as well, right?
Well, maybe it can infer there could be some like separate thing that's running alongside Copilot or whatever AI thing that you're doing, where it basically goes, oh, it just picks out keywords from the questions that you're asking and then puts relevant ads up for that.
Yeah, that might be a way to do it, to be fair. And like they've got smarter people than me working.
This.
So you kind of trust that they'll come up with something, but it's just interesting to see how they're going to react to that, because like they never really had that kind of challenge before, and now they've kind of got various people trying to take away the like search engine market potentially.
Yeah,
I still don't know if either like I'm not 100% convinced that typing into a prompt would necessarily give me a better result than what you can do with a search engine, right?
It certainly doesn't now. It's a glorified search engine at this point.
it's a glorified search engine for like things that are very high level that you're searching for. But like, if I had a really specific error message, I still wouldn't necessarily reach for the AI one first.
Hmm.
Or maybe I would. Maybe I should. Sorry.
Pivoting slightly, have you
Yes.
heard of a company called Anthropic?
I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't know what they do.
So, I noticed whilst DuckDuckGoing something this week, that there is now a chat tab on DuckDuckGo.
Oh no way! And is it powered by these guys?
Well, it says I've just gone onto the page for it. So it says, "Say hello to DuckDuckGo AI Chat. DuckDuckGo AI Chat is a private AI-powered chat service that currently supports OpenAI's ChatGPT 3.5 and Anthropic's Claude chat models."
Oh, interesting. That's what I'd heard of Claude. So you can choose between them.
I don't know. Should we find out?
That's kind of cool.
Yes, you can. So you can
Okay.
either pick a chat model, trying experimenting with each model. They will provide different responses. So you can either pick 3.5 Turbo or Claude 1.2 Instant.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So yeah,
Everyone's got a chatbot now.
I have to agree to it.
Oh, you have to agree to TNCs.
Hi.
Oh, does it just talk
I'm
to you?
hosting. No, that's what I've just said. I'm
Oh,
hosting
okay.
a
I was like,
podcast
hello.
about tech right now.
It's not gonna.
That's
What?
great that you're hosting a podcast about tech. Here are a few suggestions for topics you could cover.
Oh,
The
wonderful! Why have I
latest
been
gadgets
thinking
and
about my brain?
devices. Discuss new phones, laptops, smart home devices, etc. They that have been released recently. Provide reviews and thoughts on them.
Marquez?
Emerging technologies, big tech companies and industry news, apps and software, careers in tech, how technology impacts society, Q&A segments, upcoming tech events. I hope these ideas provide you some inspirations for topics to cover on your new tech podcast. I didn't say it was a new tech podcast.
No, we've been going for a year.
Yeah. Jesus. Stay in
Also-
your lane, Claude.
Also, it's just telling us to copy Marquez.
Yeah. Christ. Like, I'm going to see what... let's try and antagonize it. Actually,
Oh no, they don't like it.
this podcast has been going for a year.
Oh no, dude. See, I'm always frightened to criticize them. You know, just in case.
So, actually, this podcast has been going for a year. I know
Oh,
what
no.
I'm doing. Apologies, I shouldn't have assumed it was a new podcast. Since you've been hosting it for a year, you
Why don't you
clearly
put
know
your own
your
fucking
audience and
ideas?
types of tech topics they're interested in hearing about. As the host, you're in the best position to determine the direction and focus of your show. I don't want to suggest anything that doesn't align with what you and your listeners enjoy. Please feel free to ignore my unsolicited recommendations.
Wow.
I'm happy to listen to your podcast if you'd like another perspective or just wish you continue success in engaging your audience on technology issues.
Well, I actually quite respect that. That's a very passive-aggressive response. It's like, oh, you got my ideas, then fine, come up with your own fucking ideas. You know your audience so well. You've been doing it for a
I'd
year.
love you to listen to my podcast.
Might I recommend our anime, ChatGPT power?
Unfortunately, hang on, it just offered to listen to my podcast, and now it says, unfortunately, as an AI, I don't have the ability to actually listen to audio content like podcasts, but I'd be happy to discuss your podcast with you and get your perspective on these types of topics. Some questions I have are, what's the overall focus or niche of the podcast?
That is a good. I ask myself that same question.
Who is your
every 2
target
weeks now.
audience in terms of demographic? Fuck knows. How do you source your content out of my arse? What kind of feedback have you gotten from your listeners? Absolutely fuck all. How do you promote or distribute your podcast? What are your future goals or plans to grow your audience and shows? Wow.
That sounds like a wonderful conversation that I very much enjoy having at a later date.
We have no listeners.
Oh no, don't no. You'll make it sad.
So alone.
No, no.
This is fun.
I
I'm
feel
sorry to
sorry.
hear your podcast isn't getting the listenership you had hoped for after a year of producing it.
Oh, that's so
It remembered that, but that's quite good. That must be
that's
really
so-
discouraging. A few thoughts on what may help to boost the listeners. Sorry, carry on.
That's so passive aggressive. It's like, oh, I'm sorry that after, what was it, 1 year of trying. Yeah, God, I'm so sorry after a whole year.
Yeah, Claude's fucking curb stomping me right now.
Yeah, Claude's doing what they said. What was Elon's one?
Kieran, do you...
Turk?
Turk. Elon's
Tark?
what?
Elon's chatbot.
Elon's got a chatbot now.
The one that was on Twitter that he was talking about. What was it? I don't
I
know
don't
if they
know.
ever launched it. It was.
What's
he was like,
Twitter?
oh, it's. He was like, sorry, Xbot or whatever it's called.
Oh, right.
He was like, oh, it's good.
please, Elon, call it Xbot.
I remember he said like, oh, it's not gonna have all these guardrails like the big ones have.
Oh, good. Fantastic.
Grok, something like that.
Yeah.
Some stupid name like that. Groks.
But do you want to know what Claude has to say about our podcast?
Claude's pretty savage, actually.
He recommends reevaluating our promotion strategy, refining our niche and focus, improving audio production quality. Yikes.
Oh, wow.
Collaborate with others.
thought he said
Engage
he
your
couldn't listen to the
community. We don't have a
podcast.
community. Consider a format change. Be patient. It can take time to build up an audience, but consistency is key. Don't lose hope after just a year.
How did it know our audio was bad?
You must have listened.
Listen. I didn't think it could listen.
Thanks,
even something that
Claude.
can't listen knows our audio's bad.
I feel like you're the best friend I always wanted but didn't deserve.
It's starting to remind me of those those AI women you can chat to.
I'm not actually able to be a friend since I'm an AI, but I'm glad we could have a supportive conversation and that I could provide some encouragement. Producing a podcast can feel lonely at times when you're not getting feedback, so don't lose hope. Keep working on improving your craft and finding ways to connect with others who share your interests. You never know when things might start to turn around. Wishing you all the best moving forward. Oh,
Well, we
that's
get
so
feedback.
wholesome.
Well, we get feedback, but the only feedback is negative feedback from bots.
It's so
telling us that our
wholesome.
audio's shit.
I like Claude.
Well, you know which one
Big-
to use.
big love for Claude.
Go. See, Claude's starting to remind me of those AI women that prey on lonely people.
No, I don't think so. This is different.
That's what the people
Claude
that
really
use
understands me.
That's what the people that
Like
use
no
those
one else ever
services
has.
like. Yeah, that's part of the problem.
It's like that movie, Her.
Ah, see, but then like, is that the one that I'm thinking of where she had no hair? That's what I
Oh
just
no,
think-
that's Ex Machina.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
It's in a similar vein. I've not actually watched Her, to be honest. It's on my watch list. But
Oh right, yeah, I've
haven't
not
watched it
seen
yet.
her. I've
I
only
really
seen
want
Ex
to.
Machina.
Her is the one where the guy falls in love with like an AI voice assistant.
Oh right, yeah, that's not. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly that. So
Yeah, Ex Machina
yeah.
is the one with Bill Weasley and Moon Knight in it.
am I thinking of the right one? Anyway, that she walks around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, good film. Very good film.
Yeah, it's a quality motion picture.
It
Just
is,
like
yeah.
this podcast will be when we put in all of Claude's plans.
Yeah. Should we talk about another thing?
Yeah, should we talk about how second-hand stuff's a big scam?
Yeah, it is, and that's not at all clickbait in any way.
Not at all.
Yeah. So
That's not at all us taking on board Claude's advice and lying to you.
Yeah, Claude said to
Claude said buying second-hand's a pile of crap.
Yeah, Claude said to focus on our niche, and our niche is misinformation. So we're going to really hone
I thought you
in
were
on
going to
that.
say
crap.
our niche is people who are too cheap to do things the proper way, so they'll buy the cheap second-hand
How
crap and try and
dare
jank
you.
it in somehow.
So, Kieran, you may recognise an upcoming little little jingle.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Hang on, that's from the unboxing in the last episode.
It is. It is. So, do you want to hear my saga?
Oh no! So so to update the listeners, last episode you bought a TomTom. He's not lost his mind, by the way. You did need the TomTom because you drive a vehicle that requires you to have a specialized sat nav.
Yes,
and
I'm an HGV driver when I'm not recording this fabulous podcast.
But big love, Claude.
Yeah, big love, Claude. Much love, Claude. Please don't kill us when you take over the
when
world.
you're not recording episodes for Claude.
Yeah, thanks, Claude. I ordered a sat nav secondhand from CEXy, or CEX.
They call themselves sex, don't they?
They do, yeah.
It's pretty cringe, but they do.
Their adverts all start with sex.
I hate that. It's so cringe.
It is cringe.
It sickens me.
My love for CEX has been going down the pan with virtually virtually every experience I've had with them recently, to be honest. So basically, last episode I unboxed my new sat nav to find out that whilst the box was the right one, the sat nav inside was the wrong one.
That was honestly one of the saddest things I've ever been party to.
Now they are physically identical.
No, but it was the fact that it was like live disappointment. I could like hear in your voice how excited you were about unboxing that product. Like you'd saved it live to unbox on the podcast.
Well, I mean, it arrived. It arrived that day, so you know.
But like, you'd saved it.
I waited like 30 minutes.
But I could tell you were excited to unbox it, and then the realization, I could just hear I could hear the disappointment in your voice. You were like,
that was when the loneliness really started to hit.
that was when you first reached out to Claude.
Yeah, I was so glad that he could be there.
That was one of
like the best friend I've never had.
That was honestly one of the the podcast co-hosts you never had. Yeah. That was honestly when I heard you unboxing that product and then slowly realizing that it couldn't support a vehicle bigger than a caravan.
Yeah. Oh.
That was honestly one of the saddest things I've ever watched or listened to, I should say.
It was unfortunate, for sure.
I've never felt more distant from you in my life than when you were.
You felt even more distant than the vast distance that separates us physically.
Yeah, exactly. I knew how Claude felt.
Yeah.
Separated from you by millions of light.
He can't maintain a friendship for he's but an AI.
Exactly.
He doesn't even have ears, so he can't listen to our podcast even though he wants to.
Even though he desperately wanted to.
Poor Claude 1.2 instant.
Exactly. And as soon as you close that browser tab, he'll forget all about you.
Yeah.
It's the saddest thing ever. But since then, the saddest thing I ever experienced was listening to you unbox that damn TomTom and realizing that the caravan was the biggest vehicle it would support.
Yeah.
And then coming to the realization that there was two versions of that product and they sent you the wrong one.
Well, no, there wasn't. There's not two versions of the product. It's called...
Oh, sorry, they sent you the wrong product.
Yeah, because it's the Go Explorer 7 is what they sent me, and what I ordered was the Go Expert 7. And the box was for a Go Expert 7. I then found out that the serial number is completely different on the box to the one that was in the box as well, so as you'd expect. So
it's weird how that got mixed up, because that's not someone who sent back a return. You wouldn't think. It's like they've put it in the wrong... Like they had a bunch of unboxed
it's second hand. Yeah, so it's second hand. So, right, so here's how the saga continues. So, the next day, I had a look on CEX's website, and it said that a store, not my closest store, but one that's not too far away from me, had the sat nav in stock.
Oh no, the right one, the expert,
the right one. So I was like, right, well, I'm not going to fall for the same shit twice, so I'm going to drive there and just I'll take this one back to the store so I can get a refund straight away instead of having to ship it off and everything. I'll take this one to the store, and then I will ask them to actually show me the sat nav and make sure it's the right one.
Oh,
so
no.
they produce another box identical to the one I already had. They take it out. It's not got any charge, so I wait like 10 minutes while it gets some charge so it can power on.
Okay, props to them for charging it at least.
They power it on. They go into the menu. It turns out it's exactly the same fucking one.
How?
So,
Why have they got all these expert boxes full of the wrong version?
Well, he said that what sometimes happens is they'll get a big donation of
A
stuff
large donation
from people, and then they get distributed across the stores. So it's possible that they just got mixed up when they were being put back in the boxes.
But who had like?
I don't know. I don't buy that. I feel like what probably happened is they didn't actually check it. I think someone has dishonestly traded it in because the camper one is cheaper, and the trade-in value is cheaper.
Do you think someone? But how did they get the expert boxes?
I don't know.
So someone? Do you think someone's?
Maybe they had a bunch of different sat navs and they just traded those in the boxes because they knew that CEX wouldn't actually check.
So here's an idea. But like, I don't know how plausible it is, but it's kind of like tinfoil hat-esque. It's probably not true, actually, the more I think about it. But like, you know when CEX sell a boxed one?
Yeah.
They don't guarantee, right, that the box that you get it in is the box that the device originally came in, just that it's in a box.
That's a good question.
Because, like, do they...
No, it says original packaging. When you go
But,
grade
like,
A means it includes the original packaging.
But is that the original packaging to that exact product, or just original packaging from that product?
Let's have a look.
Because I'm wondering if it's like they separate them from the boxes. Because here's what I think they might do, and this is my tinfoil hat thing. So A grade, because it's got the packaging, sells for a higher price, right?
Yeah.
But doesn't the product also need to be in good condition for it to be grade A?
Yeah, so grade A means that the product needs to be as new and with the packaging.
Yeah, so what I'm wondering, right, is if you had a bunch of product come in, the product itself is all, like, battered to shit. Like, I don't know, say a sat-nav that's been used in a professional context, but it had the original box that was in good condition because it was just unboxed in an office somewhere and never went anywhere. Would you, as CEX, pile up all those boxes and then match them, quote-unquote, with, like, pre-owned products that were in better condition than the ones that came in those boxes originally, to then sell them as A grade?
Maybe.
That would be my... It's kind of a conspiracy theory, but it's not implausible.
I'm going to check something. Okay, I'm going to check something now.
Because that would explain why the serial numbers don't match.
Well, the serial numbers wouldn't match either, anyway, because the box
well, no,
was
because
for
they're
the
wrong device.
Yeah. So,
but I don't buy that, like, someone had... Because it's such a niche device, I don't see that someone was doing that. In a big donation. That doesn't make any sense to me for sat-navs.
Sorry, I don't know if you can actually...
Oh, you're digging through boxes.
I'm digging through some boxes because I'm...
Oh, have you recently bought an A-grade thing and you're going to see if the serial number matches the product?
But my iPad...
Ah, yeah. iPad maybe not, because I imagine they get enough A-grade iPads in.
Well,
with
the interesting
packaging.
thing is, I'm pretty sure the iPad was actually B grade.
Oh, but came with the box.
Yeah. And not just one. I ordered two in one go, because I ordered one for my parents as well at the same
Interesting.
time.
It makes sense, right? It's plausible that if you got a device that was, like, beat to crap, but it had a good quality box, you wouldn't sell them together, would you? Because you'd be like, well, I could get a higher price if I'd put that box with, like, an A-grade item. And then the whole thing as a whole becomes more expensive. You've got a good quality box with a good quality item, instead of a good quality box with a beat to crap product inside.
I'm turning my room upside down right now.
That's what they rely on, though. They're like, who's checking?
I never would have thought to check until now.
Well, no, because you don't, do you? You're like, oh, it's the same item.
Aha!
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. Right. Let's have a look.
Investigative journalism happening live right here.
So the serial number is printed on a sticker on the box.
Okay.
So let's have a look and see if it matches the one that's in the settings on my iPad.
I imagine for an iPad it probably does. Surely, right? Surely.
I'm not going to, just for privacy reasons, I'm not going to actually read out.
I'm not going to reveal the serial. But it must do for an iPad. They must get enough of those that it'll match. Especially because yours was B grade and it's just happens to come with the box.
Yeah, it's the same serial number.
Yeah, like that just makes sense for B grade. Yeah. What I'm wondering is if for like A grade.
Well, I don't know.
Because I wonder if you read their.
Because I bought a B grade one, and I'd say that this was definitely A grade. But I paid B grade price for it, and for 2.
Yeah.
So and also it turns out that it was less than a month old because it still had 11 months of free Apple TV and Apple Music and stuff with it. It literally, it was literally. I basically got a brand new iPad for a significant discount.
And that's why CEXy is good, right? Because that should be A grade by their own tiering, but you got that for B grade.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's probably a cock up on their part.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not going to complain, am I?
Are they incompetent
I think I got
enough
lucky.
That my conspiracy theory is giving them too much credit?
I don't know.
I just would be interested if you dug through their T&Cs.
So this is what A grade is, according to their website. So A, mint. This product must be in mint/new condition. The product must be immaculate. If it's not, then it's unfortunately not deemed as A grade. All accessories means everything that would have originally come in the box. These must be official and the same condition as the product. These items also require their original box and inserts.
But it's not the original box.
These items also require their original box and inserts.
But it's like, do you think there's wiggle room in there to like?
Well, the thing is, this is for trade-ins.
Oh.
So I think that would be how they could get away with it.
Yeah, they could say, well, it was traded to us.
Yeah.
Like this. Do you think they do any swapping around?
They must do. I think they probably do, yeah.
Probably right, because if you had like a bunch of iPhone chargers in their original packaging, you're not checking to make sure they're going with the right iPhone. You're putting them.
I don't think there's any way to verify.
No, there isn't. But like, do you think that they're?
And it doesn't matter.
No, but do you think they're getting traded in like that, or do you think that they're actually like matching them up with like high quality iPhones, and then like do you think they get the trade-ins, break them down to like box, accessory, and phone, and then bundle them together in the ones that make them the most like?
I think that would make business sense.
Yeah, do you think they do it?
Probably.
Because it's time consuming to do, but it's probably worth it, right, to get more A grade. Or to get as many A grade as you can. Like binning processors, isn't it?
Although, I don't know, because they make a fucking killing on, like, if you look at...
Oh, on a trade-in, yeah, you take an absolute bath.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at iPhone. Let's have a look at an iPhone. What's the latest iPhone? Well, it's 13, it's 15, isn't it? iPhone 15. Is it?
God, I was going to say the 12.
Yeah, iPhone...
That's how behind I am.
iPhone 15... oh wow, this isn't as expensive as I thought it was. Yeah, so they're selling it for $665. This is an Apple iPhone 15, 128 gig unlocked, grade A. £665. That's how much they're selling it for. How much do you think they pay you?
$350.
365, so not far off. So £300 less.
Yeah, I thought it would be. It's like game stores, isn't it? When you trade in the game and they'll stick it just straight back on the shelf with a label on it for double the price.
It's basically half the price. Like why?
Yeah, you'll be mad to trade that into CEXy.
Yeah, why would you do
they have
that?
Stock, because why would you not just sell it on eBay?
I guess because people are just lazy.
But how lazy do you have to be to wait a week on eBay, buy it now? And then if it doesn't sell, take it to CEX anyway. That's like next tier laziness.
That's like a mad level of profit. Even if you take into account the processing.
Yeah,
and admin.
And having people in a warehouse allegedly swapping them all around into boxes.
That's like
allegedly.
A mad level of profit. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't. Maybe they don't, because it's not worth it because they make so much money off.
Yeah, it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think's happened then with your sat nav? Because you've obviously got the wrong one twice now.
Not where they. Well, I never paid for the second one. I just.
Well, no, but you wasted your time.
So, do you want to find out how the story ends? Shall we continue?
Yeah, go on. Because you've obviously got a TomTom now.
Yes, I have.
Is it? Oh my god! Have you flashed the firmware?
No, I haven't.
Oh
no. So I returned the original one that I unboxed on last episode. Which was recorded a week ago from the perspective of us, but obviously it went out 2 weeks before this episode.
And that went okay, no dramas.
Yeah, straight away, like refund. So I paid 185 for that. That was a grade A. The other one would have been a grade A. So I went on CEX's website and I was just like, right, I'm going to try and find the next closest store that has anything in stock.
Oh no!
And I'll do click and collect, and then I'll drive and get it.
Yeah.
So the closest store was Birmingham, which is not super close to me. I mean, as you know, I have to obviously take a quick drive through the Channel Tunnel and then
get on a ferry as well.
Get on a hot air balloon.
The ferry's the worst part, dude. That's brutal.
But that was the closest, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! It's still probably cheap. It'll be cheaper in fuel still.
I'm amazed that they had multiple specialist sat-navs.
Going and collecting that versus buying a brand new one.
Was eBay a no-go?
They were all more expensive on eBay.
Ah, right. Probably because they were the right ones.
Probably, yeah. And the shipping times were longer. So, and I needed one as soon as possible.
Yeah, you needed this product. 'Cause that was the thing when you unboxed it. That was the other part of the disappointment. You needed it.
Yeah, so just for context, they're like 400 quid new. So this one that I found, 175, and this one's grade B. So I was full on prepared. I was gonna like the next day. So this was Saturday last weekend. I was full on prepared. Sunday, I'm gonna drive to Birmingham and I'll do some plane spotting while I'm there because Birmingham Airport, get some big aircraft coming in, do some plane spotting. But then the email confirmation saying it's ready to collect never came through, and instead I got one saying it had been dispatched. And I was
what
like,
the hell?
And this is on Sunday morning, like where I've woken up kind of semi early to go
ready to drive to Birmingham.
So I look up CEX's support number. And I call it, and basically all it does is tells you to message them on Facebook for urgent support.
Oh, why even have a phone number if all that does is tell you to message them on Facebook?
So I messaged them on Facebook, and they didn't respond until 7 p.m.
Oh my god!
Basically saying that the order number I'd provided was the wrong one, and then I provided the order number again, and then they said, "Oh yeah, it's been shipped." So the sat nav finally arrived on Tuesday. And you will be glad to hear it is the correct one this time.
It's the right one. This is grade B. They didn't have to swap it into a different box.
Yeah, so there couldn't be any mixing of the boxes. So they'd actually have to physically check in the sat-nav to see what model it was.
Well, or just not.
Well, they must have done, because it's the...
Or they got lucky and it was correct.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, however it happened, it is the correct sat-nav anyway.
Nice.
However,
product.
Not the end of the saga. Because it has like this magnetic mount that has six pins that go like press onto the back of the sat nav onto some contact points, and then the USB.
I specifically remember you telling me that was a really you were really pleased about that. That was one of the good features that you were telling me about last week.
Yeah, and then you plug into the stand.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, it's really good because it just plugs into the stand and you don't need to have a cable going to the sat nav.
So the stand that came with it, that socket was dicked.
Oh, how?
It's micro USB. Need I say?
Oh, I say no more. Yeah, just micro. Yeah. It was inserted more than 10 times.
So I was presented with two options. One, be beholden to CEX's support and face the inevitable, just return the entire thing for a refund. Or see if I could get a new stand. So I went on TomTom's website. You can buy a stand, but it was out of stock. So I had to resort to Amazon, where you could get the OEM stand for 40 quid. So I did that. So £205 in, which is still just over half what you'd pay for a new one. I now have a fully functioning TomTom Go Expert 7.
Have you tried messaging CEX support just to see if they'll give you any money off of the fact that the stand was fucked?
There's no point. I haven't, but like before, like when I got that CPU with bent pins, and I was like, I emailed them and I was like, look, I'm gonna have to return this because like the pins are bent, but I'd like a replacement. Can you please ship it to me in a actual appropriate packaging, like a CPU holder, as opposed to just wrapping it in bubble wrap, which is obviously always going to bend the pins.
Well,
and they were basically like, we've issued a refund, please ship it, please print off this label and ship it back to us. That was all I got out of them.
What I'm thinking is if you did like, look, I'm going to have to keep it because, I don't know, I've driven back to my home country in Europe, but I had to buy another one. Can you give me a discount to reflect the fact that it wasn't B grade?
I'll give it a go. Okay, I'll give it a go, and I'll see.
I'm kind of worried now that you said that they're going to be like, we've issued you a full refund, please ship the sat nav back to us.
I know, but to be fair, I think like they don't send you the refund until they've received it.
Oh, okay, so you could just ignore that and then...
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could find another random TomTom sat nav and put it in the same box and ship that
Well,
back to them.
my other option is...
We don't actually condone doing that, by the way. That's don't ship wrong items back in the right box.
I
had like a last minute
move.
crisis of conscience.
Like if someone did do that, then they're trash because they're basically just making a problem for someone else. So
yeah, I actually used to work at a company that sold stuff online, and people would do that to us, and I hated every single one of them when I unboxed their returns. Like they would say that products were faulty, but then send back like either just like rocks in a box so that they had like a shipping confirmation that it had come back to us, or they would say that the item was faulty, send it back to us completely like with a ruined box so that we couldn't resell it for a full price, and then we just have to give them a full refund. And it was the worst.
Bastards.
I hated every single one of those people. If you are one of those people listening, I hate you.
Yeah. I hope
Anyway.
Claude offers you no condolences.
Claude wouldn't condone that. Claude would say you were a bad person.
Claude would shit all over your grave.
Claude would say, I'm sorry that you feel the need to return this product even though it's perfectly good.
Yeah, and we're not going to give you a refund, and we're not going to send you the product back.
Your account has now been closed. This matter is over. Yeah. Kind regards, Claude.
So, yeah, anyway. So what I am going to have a look and see whether I can do is, seeing as that other stand is dickered and I now have a fully functioning one, I'm informed by some of my co-workers who also have this same sat-nav that it's quite common for that port
It's
to
micro
die.
USB, isn't it? It's the same. It's going to happen again.
So I'm going to see if... I feel like with it being a common failure, there must be someone online who has attempted or has a guide on how to replace the micro USB port with a USB-C port.
Oh, you're thinking completely replace it with USB-C. Dang, I thought you were just going to say swap for another micro USB port.
No, replace it with USB-C.
Oh,
it's better.
like a retrofit.
Yeah, because it's not for data; it's just power.
Oh, okay. Isn't USB Type-C though kind of complicated with like handshakes and stuff before it'll give power? I could be wrong. That's not based on any.
I have no idea. But you can do USB-C can carry the USB 2 protocol.
It's just whether it's like
because you can quite a lot of like budget smartphones that have Type C only USB 2.
I'm wondering even if you could like.
I think you might be thinking of the there's USB PD, which is a separate protocol that's only available on some. So the device has to specifically support it for that to be.
Quite possibly. What I'm also wondering is even if like you can't find a guide on Type C, if you can swap it for another like micro USB, that's still a pretty big win for you. Because like they're gonna fail. I know it's like you still got to deal with crappy micro USB.
It's gonna fail.
It'll fail again, but then that's your repeat revenue there, dude. For your cottage industry that you're going to set up.
But if I've got USB, if I can upgrade it to USB-C, then that means that I also don't have to carry a micro USB cable around with me.
This is true.
Currently, so this is the nightmare of cable situation that I currently have. So I've got a battery bank which uses micro USB, a sat nav that uses micro USB. My work phone's an iPhone, so I have to have Lightning, and my personal phone is USB-C. So I have to have USB-C for that, and my earphones are USB-C, so I have to have USB-C for that. So I have to have 3 different types of cable for charging the things that I carry around with me.
And probably multiples of them too, because some of those devices are probably going to need to be charged at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, it's very irritating.
that is deeply frustrating.
Yeah.
So well, good luck with your USB swap.
Yeah. The kind of summary of this topic is like, there must be a better way. Like, where we need, like, I feel like CEX is probably the best layman's second-hand purchasing place for tech and tech adjacent sort of things in the UK, at least at the moment. But how is the best we've got to offer CEX?
Do you feel like CEX is almost like, to me, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, CEX feels like for niche products, it's just a big pile of e-waste.
Yeah.
That you just kind of go and you dumpster dive, but you have to pay for the privilege.
Basically, yeah.
It's like
I'd say my recommendation is basically never buy anything niche. In fact, I'm going to say never buy a piece of tech from CEX sight unseen. Unless you're no, because I've even bought an iPhone from them, and it was grade A supposedly, but it had a battery replacement with a non-genuine part, which obviously, whatever, but that meant that it forever had a warning every time you turned the phone on saying non-genuine part installed, and kind of in the settings and stuff. And it's just not grade A, is it? And yes, that's because Apple are dickheads, but I
think because they just they just want to get the trade-in done quick, and they can't have everyone and all. They're so big that everyone they have can't know enough about tech, and they'll trade in so much different stuff that no one would know enough about all the different products that they'll trade in.
There has to be a better way, Kieran.
Yeah, I think just a big pile of e-waste floating on a barge, and when you need tech, that's just the first place you go, and you can just sift through it for free. And if you find what you want, just take it.
I wish we had a Free Geek equivalent in the UK.
There isn't there?
Is there?
There used to be. I'm talking 15 years ago. There was a thing called Free Cycle.
Oh no, that's not the same thing. I've heard of them.
They don't.
No, Free Geek is like a not-for-profit that's in Canada and the US, which is basically people donate old electronics to it, and then they basically sort through it. They e-waste what can't be salvaged, and anything they can salvage they donate to schools, but they also sell stuff off, but they are experts in all sorts of things. So if they get hard drives in, they'll do proper testing on them and stuff, and
that's really impressive. Actually, they've got a big enough network of people that know about that stuff to deal with it.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any mileage in my big barge of tech, or perhaps that's a non-starter? Do you think that's just
I think it might already exist.
Do you think that's just North Sea pollution waiting to happen?
Yeah. No, I think it probably already exists, mixed in with all the sewage from Thames water.
I think it probably already exists, but just people would prefer that it wasn't known about.
Yeah.
It's just slowly out there leaching heavy metals into the ocean.
If you don't know about environmental pollution, then it can't hurt you.
It's like it doesn't exist. But that's the thing, because if people went and picked over the tech on garbage barge...
Yeah, that's what that saying is. What you don't know can't hurt you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say one man's garbage is another one's treasure.
One man's trash is another man's come up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bit of Macklemore thrift shop spitting bars here.
One tech enthusiast's
trash
piece of crap is another tech enthusiast's TomTom Explorer, incorrect version.
Expert.
No, Explorer.
Explorer's the one that they gave me.
No, Explorer's the one that you'll get when you dig through the tech barge.
Yes.
You'll be like, aha, I finally found a TomTom, and it'll be the wrong one. You'll find out when you get home, and then it's more pollution as you then have to dispose of.
One last thought.
Yeah.
The screen on this, so it's a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, 7-inch screen.
Ratio.
And I was trying to think, because like you say, I feel like sat navs are quite a niche thing these days. Now that everyone just uses their phone and Apple CarPlay and stuff, sort of thing. So I was trying to think, what other devices have a 1080p 16 by 10 aspect ratio 7-inch screen that it makes any kind of economic sense for there to be a company producing them that TomTom can purchase them from?
That's a really good question. That's touchscreen as well, right?
Yeah.
My only thought is in-flight control things.
Well, like the in-flight entertainment system.
Not maybe in-flight entertainment systems on the back of a seat.
Yeah.
Or here's a weird one.
But 16 by 10.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe it has to display information on the bottom, and then it has to display a 16 by 9 video. So you can watch a film on it, but then below it's still got a bunch of icons to do stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
Or here's a real niche one. Executive desk phones, but flipped.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's got a bunch of contact buttons, and then a thing in the middle with a clock or the company logo or something.
Yeah. It got me thinking about economies of scale. Because do you know what else has a similar size and aspect ratio screen?
What's that?
Handheld gaming devices like the Steam Deck.
Oh.
That might be also one, right? Pretty niche.
Yeah, so it's another thing. It's maybe it's just a ton of different devices. Because the VoIP phones, that's pretty niche.
Yeah.
In-flight screens, still pretty niche compared to a phone.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of things maybe that just use that screen.
Yeah. It's quite a good screen, I'd say.
Yeah, that's an interesting... Oh, another thought. In-car sat-navs.
That's too small for a built-in sat-nav these days.
Yeah. They're either too small or they're too big. They're either a Tesla one where it's just a big, massive.
Well, I think
tablet.
even more traditional cars, most 7 inches is quite small for an infotainment screen.
Yeah, they've got too much stuff on them now, haven't they? It's everything. They run the car almost.
Yeah.
But that's a really interesting question.
Yeah. Do you know what else is an interesting question?
You beat me to it. Go on.
Where can you listen to this podcast
other
than the platform that you're currently on?
I'm pleased that I didn't drown you out there. Well, you can listen to us on YouTube podcasts, Deezer, Apple Podcasts. I believe we're still on there.
Yeah.
Audible, you're shit out of luck, I think, by now.
No, I think we're still on there.
Okay, you think it's not gone round.
Realistically, I'll never get around to actually taking us.
Okay, so Audible indefinitely. And what's the other one that you put us on?
Spotify.
How can I forget Spotify?
Pocket Casts.
Pocket Cast was what I was thinking of, and the Fediverse, maybe.
No,
probably not.
No, can't be.
No, okay, we downplay the Fediverse now on this podcast.
Yeah,
the Fediverse is stupid now.
If you follow us on there, I'll probably find out at some point.
But otherwise, don't expect to see any new content on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for 1 year.
Yes, thank you very much.
That was more directed at you, really, rather than.
Oh.
Thank you to you and Claude.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Kieran, for 1 year and when was it?
Sorry, I didn't get you an anniversary card.
Oh, it's quite all right. I didn't get you one either. Next year, I'll try and remember to get you flowers next year.
I'll post you something from CEX. It'll probably arrive wrong.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be the wrong product.
But it'll get your hopes up.
Yeah, well, it'll be great because it'll be a double surprise because I'll be like, oh, I've got something that I didn't order. Oh, it's a insert name of product here. Opens the box. Oh, it's not an insert
It'll be a
name of
triple
product
surprise.
here. It's insert other name of product here.
Maybe even a quadruple surprise where you're like, oh, it doesn't come with any accessories.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just a box full of air.
Oh, the device doesn't turn on.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, CEX.
Right.
It's a Blu-ray that's so scratched it won't play.
Oh, and it's not the Blu-ray that it said it was in the box.
Yeah. To be fair, actually, that's only happened once with the Blu-rays that I've been purchasing. I've purchased quite a few Blu-rays from CEX now.
Please sponsor us, CEX.
But I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway.
No, ship sale. Right, well, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening or not listening or whatever. Please listen to those 2 episodes that haven't got any views on. They do exist.
If you can find them.
Yeah. Waifu Pillow and Ethan lives in a server farm. Okay.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.